everybody, I'm back, and oh thank god Nifty is the last redesign. I know a lot of people think we're gonna get more finalized versions, but I have a feeling we won't see them till the show airs, which is good for me since all these so-called designs have made me very unexcited. But anyway, this is gonna be a long one, so sorry about that, but let's talk about Nifty. So Nifty is a character I knew very little about because around the time she was being shown, I kind of dipped out of the Vivzy Pop craze, but she seems to have been somewhat of a fave as Vivzy Pop has drawn her a lot. But again, at the time, I knew nothing at all. All I really knew was she was crazy and liked chores. So not too different from what we have now, but after learning everything I needed for this redesign, I can't help but feel Viv dropped the ball on this. Like, okay, when Nifty was dropped, 1, I had no idea yet again, but 2, again, her design didn't change at all. Mainly her clothes and a few color switches, which isn't a super big deal, but again, they aren't trying to elevate the design. I was also disappointed, of course, to see that she looks nothing like a bug or has bug features, like Viv has stated. It's right there, all her words typed up like that. And I mean, they had the chance to add something that would give that vibe, but once again, the character doesn't really look like or resemble what Viv described her to be at all. Like, how does this look like anything she said she's based around? Like, I know not every character is going to 100% look like how they're described, but I mean, come on. She even said she wanted to give her antenna, but decided not to, which boggles my mind. I mean, like, they could have made her mouth look different, like how I did for Redesign Baggy, and like, anything to help sell she's a bug/alien hybrid demon, you know? It's just like, she looks, ugh. Also, I know I sound like a broken record, but fashion is important, and if Viv was going for a 1950s look, this really wasn't it. I mean, the old dress was not technically time period accurate, and it didn't have to be, obviously, but at least you could tell. I mean, it's a costume piece, but, you know, a lot of people don't know that. It still reads 1950s for those who don't know. But now, there's nothing that says 1950s at all. This whole design is nothing. There's nothing that remotely resembles the 1950s aesthetic. And again, why all the red? Like, even though Nifty's pilot look was bright, it still made her stand out. But now, it's kind of basic. It seems like whenever Viv tried to change the overused colors on these characters, she would always pick white or black or red. Like, you do realize there are other colors in this world other than white, red, and black! And yeah, I get the skin change, since it's now been confirmed Nifty is Japanese, even though she was yellow way before that fact, but I get it, it was a smart change, so I'm not angry at that. But I just wish they had used another color other than whatever this is, because it's not white, that's for sure, and it's doing something weird with, I don't know, the lighting is making it look really weird. And it doesn't help that her whole dress is all that one color now, aside from the white apron and the top, but even then it looks red. Also, I don't get the eye color change. The orange was fine. It popped way more than whatever burnt red this is. So yeah, I'm not too happy about what's happening, if that wasn't clear. But yeah, I'm not too happy with Nifty being smothered in red. Again, this wouldn't be a problem if Nifty was the only red colored character in the show, but she's not. You've got Alistair, Angel, Husk, and Vaggie now, thanks to Viv's ungodly obsession with the color red. And before people go, it's to match the color of the hotel. Yeah, I call bullshit. We all know why the characters have hues of red on them, and that's because Viv really can't pick a different color. I mean, the one character that people seem to be absolutely excited about is Baxter, and he's blue, black, and yellow, if I'm remembering correctly. And I have seen Viv a few times talk very badly about that character, and I'm like, it's probably because he's blue. I'm trying. I really am to be excited. I know a few have said it's just the design, don't worry so much, but like, a character's design is important, especially for me, you know? Like, my whole channel is about character designs. I feel like if you told me not to care about it, you're telling me not to care about my dog. Like, I care. I really do care. Anyway, this was super long, but I've kind of reached my breaking point. So, and we'll be here all day if I keep going, so let's get into the redesigns. Okay, yeah, I made 2 outfits because, okay, look, even though Nifty was redesigned, you can't see it, but I'm doing air quotes, she's still in her normal outfit, and wearing an apron doesn't count as a uniform. I've seen so many people go, oh, at least she looks like a maid now. No, again, like I said before, with the whole Vaggie pirate thing, just because Vaggie was on the ship does not make her a pirate. And just because Nifty is wearing an apron does not mean that this is her maid uniform. Wearing an apron does not make you a maid. Otherwise, I'd be a maid all the time because I wear an apron in the kitchen every time I cook stuff for my roommate. So anyway, I went with a classic 1950s housewife outfit. Since Nifty is so boy crazy, she'd want to look the part of her time's ideal woman. So I gave her a simple square cut bodice and a circle cut dress. The only thing I did different and not time period accurate are her sleeves. Yes, the finalized version of Nifty's sleeves are not time period accurate. However, if they wanted to change her sleeves, they could have just gone with a more sharp style similar to the Jetsons. Even though the Jetsons is a 1960s cartoon, it still uses the 1950s style and elements. And with Nifty being like a bug alien, it's kind of the perfect show to reference. Because, I mean, it gives it that spacey feel, if that makes any sense. Anyway, I used Nifty's old hair color for her dress color. I just toned down the original pink color by making it more of a highlighter color than a main color. I've always really liked the idea of Nifty in orange since her hair tuft was something that always drew my eye in and really complimented her. Plus, the 1950s was all about pastels, anything Easter colored really. And again, with Nifty being referenced from aliens, why not make her colors more bright and vibrant? You know, something an alien would think a 1950s housewife would wear. Like, it's cute and looks the part, but it clearly stands out way too much. As for her scarf, I'm not sure why they made it so dark. I mean, the color before was fine. It was able to stand out, kinda, but now not so much. Also, I never really liked how it was tied behind her neck. It should be off to the side of her neck or in front. So yeah, I moved her scarf. I also used Nippy's old skin color as her scarf and apron color. Like, I get they had to change the skin color, but they could have just moved colors around. They didn't have to get rid of all the orange and yellow. There are ways to completely change a character just by moving their colors around. I've done it before. It's honestly the easiest thing in the world. Anyway, as for the face, again, Nifty is referenced to be a bug alien, so what bug looks like an alien? Praying mantises. Well, I mean, they all do, but that one looks the most like an alien. And cockroaches. I mean, they're gonna outlive us anyway, so I just mixed the two together, giving Nifty fake mantis eyes, cockroach antenna, an extra set of horns, since she's also inspired by the worst song ever. And I made her green. That way her face is the first thing you look at, and it complements the yellow and orange, along with making the pink dots stand out. I also changed the shape of her mouth, since everyone kind of has the same shape, but also because I didn't want her to have the same mouth style as Vaggie, so she has this more V-shaped mouth. As for her hair, I went more traditional, but also still kept her crazy curls, just made them a bit more sharp and angular instead of this weird, loop. And as for her body, I kept it black like the final, but added more spikes and made her legs more bug shaped. Since her original body looks like an off-brand version of the notepad from Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, and just doesn't have enough bug qualities for me to enjoy. Which reminds me, I also added these greenish V cuts into her body, just to give the illusion of the shells that bugs have on their bodies. I can't ever remember the word. And as for the apron, yeah, I just did the same apron they did, but made the top part of the apron more accurate. Other than that, I feel like I pretty much nailed this. She now looks like what she's described to be, if that makes sense. Because I did say I was doing something different, so please don't come after me. But also, I know some of y'all are going to say something, but the spots on Nifty's shirt aren't bullet marks. They're just paint smudges. Her original design shows that, but unfortunately, they had to tone it down for the pilot, so yeah, they're not bullet holes, they're just paint splotches. But I did think about making the spots on her dress kind of runny, but I felt it would be kind of too much, but figured the bloody apron would be a good compromise. Anyway, on to Maid Nifty. Okay, look, I can already hear it. Why is her uniform not red? Well, one, she's a maid, and traditionally the uniforms are black and white, sometimes blue, but that depends on the place. But yeah, I really didn't want to put Nifty in red, plus her uniform technically shouldn't match. I mean, hotel staff do match, but the cleaners have their own separate uniforms. So yeah, but just like before, I went with a 1950s style, but more relaxed, with fake rolled up sleeves and big buttons. And the fact it's not a dress. Yes, she's still wearing a skirt, but if she wanted to, she could just take her shirt off and put something else on after work. As for the skirt itself, I made it less puffy, as that's the style back then, but I can imagine Nifty not liking that, as she's such a fun and bouncy person and would hate to wear a flat skirt. The design on the skirt is still the same, but allows her to have some color on her. Also, yet again, I reused Nifty's old skin for the whites of her shirt and skirt and gloves. Which, yeah, I added gloves. Like, she really should be wearing them. Crushing bugs with your bare hands and making dinner after is so gross. But I guess that works for her, since Viv has said Nifty is secretly very dirty. Anyway, for her apron, it's supposed to be shaped like a ladybug, which is a small nod to when Housewives started making fun and cute aprons to keep busy, and either because they wanted in on the trend. But it made it look more messy and ripped up, as even though I'm sure Nifty is really good at cleaning and cooking, her sewing leaves much to be desired. As I'm sure with how hyper and fast moving she is, I can imagine she speedruns through most of her sewing. Also, even though I didn't put her in red, I still wanted to make sure it looked like she worked at the hotel, so I pasteled her original pink to give her some hint she works there, but also keeping with the 1950s color theme. But just to make extra sure it looked like she worked there, I put an apple on her maid's cap. Because, I mean, even though Charlie runs the hotel, it's clearly a building her father either built or owns. Because, I mean, there's apples everywhere, including family pictures. Because, I mean, why would Charlie put up pictures of her family and life at her business? I don't think you would see pictures of the person who's trying to help you and her girlfriend at Disneyland. Like, I don't know. I mean, it just makes no sense, to me at least. Anyway, that's pretty much it. I know I went really fast with this, but like, I'm honestly so happy to be done though. I'll probably do more when the show airs, but for now, this was a ride. Like, I had high hopes, and that's probably my fault. But, you know, after everything, I really have no love for these characters. I mean, maybe the show itself will change my mind, but I'm not holding my breath anymore. Also, one more thing, and then I'm done. I feel extremely bad for Nifty. She's the one character fans care the least for. She's barely talked about, has little to no merch, and they didn't even give her her own promo picture. Nearly every comment I saw was about that damn cat. Nifty's spotlight was yet again taken from her. Like, she's a unique character on paper, but her design and lack of interest from everyone and Viv just kills me. I can understand why she's left out due to the cast being so big, but it doesn't seem fair that she's not getting any attention from Viv or her team. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Next video will be Alia. Super excited to get started. And then Laguna! Not surprised she won the polls, but I'm super excited to get started. Anyway, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Really helps out the channel. We're super close to 30K subscribers, and I think I have something really fun for that. Anyway, I hope everyone has a super fantastic day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!